Oh, hello there, Mr. Margarine. Hello, you've not heard from me in a little bit. I thought I would just grace you with my presence today, Mr. Margarine, since I've not heard from you since I challenged you to fight, and you backed down so cowardly, like the cowardly charlatan that you are. Sucks to be you, Mr. Margarine, because I'm living my best life. You're just a sad man with zero integrity. And I take pleasure in knowing that I am superior to you. Anyway, today, Mr. Margarine, we are addressing your video called 10 Things You Should Never Say to an Aussie.
Number 1, don't you ever fucking tell me to throw a shrimp on the barbie, dickhead.
Hey, Mr. Margarine, can you do me a favour and throw a shrimp on the barbie, dickhead? I'm not gonna eat it, because I'm not a fan of shrimp, personally. I also don't know what a barbie is. I mean, is that some sort of little doll or something? I don't know. But hey, I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna just tell you that, because I'm sure you would love to hear it from me.
Number 2, a dingo ate my baby. If you think it's funny to put on an Australian accent and say, oh crikey, a dingo ate my baby, well you're a piece of shit, mate.
A dingo ate my baby.
Number 3, anything negative about Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin was overrated. What's so fantastic about that man? Who cares? I much prefer George of the Jungle. I much prefer Bear Grylls. Why do I care about Steve Irwin? Steve Irwin? Really? Really? Mr. Margarine, that guy might have been even more of a wimp than you are. A stingray killed him? Really? Who gets killed by a stingray? Seriously? I'd take 5 of those for breakfast.
Number 4, anything negative about Vegemite.
Vegemite is atrocious, it is disgusting, it is gross. I would rather shovel shit out of my own arsehole straight into my mouth than consume a single drop of Vegemite. And just between you and I, Mr. Margarine, my shits are not at all pleasant.
Number 5, never ask an Australian for a Foster's beer.
Hey, Mr. Margarine, if I ever come round your parts or we ever meet at some point, could you just please supply me with some nice Foster's beer? I would really appreciate that. Personally, I don't even like beer, never mind Foster's beer, but I would really like just to sit with a nice Foster's beer, a nice can of Foster's beer, and pour it out on the floor next to you.
Number 6, do you ride a kangaroo?
Mr. Margarine, have you ever ridden a kangaroo? I mean, I know they're robots and not actually real animals, so it might be quite cool, it might be quite fun to ride on it since you're not really putting much weight on a living creature. It might be a little bit fun to hop around on a mechanical kangaroo. I could see the pleasure, I could see the appeal of that. So I do wonder, have you ever done this before?
Number 7, yeah, Australia's nice, but I prefer New Zealand.
You know what, Mr. Margarine? I do think that the images I've seen of Australia, they do look kind of nice. If we disregard the temperatures and the weather and the horrible beasts and creatures that are venomous, and we also disregard the accent, and probably a lot of people such as yourself. But I do think that New Zealand certainly seems much better and much nicer.
Number 8, do your toilets flush counterclockwise?
Mr. Margarine, before we continue, I've got a question for you. Maybe you've heard this one before, I'm not sure, but I would really like some explanation on this. I'm trying to work it into my theory. Is it true that your toilets flush counter, or as I would say, anti-clockwise? Because I've heard that, and I'd like to know if that's true or not.
Number 9, don't try and use the Aussie slang. Don't come up to an Australian and say, "G'day, mate."
G'day, mate. G'day, mate. G'day, mate.
Or even come up to an Australian and say, "How are you going, mate?"
How are you going, mate? How are you going, mate? How are you going, mate?
And number 10, we are here. The last thing that you don't want to say to an Australian is, "Oh, I don't want to go there. It's too dangerous. The animals are too dangerous."
Personally, if I did think Australia were a real, legit place and the things and people in it were actually there, I don't think I would want to go there. Because very dangerous, definitely. I mean, can you think of another place that has animals that are so dangerous, that has such dangerous accents? I mean, the accents, as I'm saying, are very, very dangerous. They're dangerous in the sense that they are so painful to listen to that you will want to go home and beat your eardrums in with a hammer so that you never have to hear them ever again. I think that's very dangerous. And personally, I would rather not go to a place like that. Anyway, Mr. Margarine, I hope to hear from you soon. You're welcome.